Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with another banger. It is here Wednesday evening, and you see on the other side of me, I got my main man, Bending Air from South Bend with me this evening. It's good to have you back, man. It's been a minute. I know your schedule been crazy. Man, I love seeing that background and love seeing that goat you got back there and a couple others on that picture. Ladies and gentlemen, it's post game. Bending Air from South Bend of Post Game Sports. How's it doing this evening? Glad to have you with me, man, as well.
Man, I appreciate it all, my brother, man. I'm feeling good, ready to get into some basketball talks with you. Nobody do it how we do it. What's up, Moss?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. And something that the people don't know, man, I know you modest and you one of the humblest guys that I've come to meet in these last few years. And when I say humble, you so humble that it's been a year, man. You've been with the guys for a year, the homies, man. And I just want to give you that shout out, man. From here to C Bus 614, man. I appreciate your dedication, your work from day one when you was flipping your YouTube and you tuned into us. You've never took a foot off the gas. Matter of fact, you hit that nitro button, kind of like the Fast and the Furious, man. And I appreciate you, man. 1 year anniversary. Shout out to post game sports, man, with the guys, man. Appreciate it, man. Anything you got to say upon that, man? And just definitely, man, it's the floor, man. I'm giving you your flowers. Say what you want before we get into this great talk, man. It's yours.
Yeah, man. I mean, I just appreciate all the guys. I appreciate the platform that Rob has allowed us to share with him. And big things coming, man. Stay tuned.
Yes, sir, man. And if you have not been able to, but I know if you tuning in, you have had to check out the channel, man. Go subscribe to all the channels you see at the bottom. Definitely post game. When I say he breaks it down like no other, he giving you a dose right in the backyard of South Bend. Everything Notre Dame, Indianapolis, so much more. Man, I just can't wait. And we got something special in store tonight. We talking NBA greatest slam dunkers of all times. And again, we talking NBA slam dunkers of all time in game. And when we bring this up post game, there's so many things that you think about when you talk about in game slam dunks. And we appreciate everyone tuning in this evening. Doug, we appreciate you tuning in all the way from the heart of the Texas, bigger than big down there, man. We talking NBA. And like we said, we talking all time in game dunkers. Me and Post been going back and forth with the list, and we're gonna give you a little bit of our knowledge of dunkers in game and our thoughts. So I'm gonna come to you, Post, because I think a lot of people know who's in that top, top two, top three, top five. What's your thoughts when we talk about in game slam dunks?
Well, see, I'm an 80s baby. Master Reaganomics, School of Hard Knocks, Everyday's College. So
Yes, sir.
for me, the dunkers that I focused on when I created a list was mainly from 2000 and to present. So things that I look for: athleticism, uh, dunking on bigger players. Like we seen that a lot in the '90s and early 2000s. Guards and guards dunking on 7 footers. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
kind of what my list was focused on.
Man, I agree, man. I kind of took flight and took it back a little bit. Some of the older guys, you got so many different things, and me like you, man. I looked at the athleticism. I also looked at the creativity. Of course, dunking on a big man, and sometimes what they did to the backboard. Did they demoralize the backboard? Did the glass shatter? Did the rim move? What happened when they dunked that basketball? So this is something that I think has been on both of our mind, and shout out to you for bringing this to my knowledge and making me say, Moss, I think we got to go with this. It's the right time. NBA playoffs is going, and I think it's the best time to go ahead and talk about this. And for me, it was tough, coming in with this list. So for me, at my 10th spot, and when I say it's a list, man, you got quite a few out there. I went with Dwight Howard at 10. I went with the big and Dwight Howard just at 10. And don't forget, I'm more of the old school in this, but I went with Dwight Howard at 10, even though he has the most dunks in NBA history in game. I went with Dwight Howard at 10. What was your thoughts on this one, Post?
I mean, I like Dwight Howard, man. Really, before that injury he had when he was traded, around the time he got traded to the Lakers, before when he played for Orlando Magic, man, he was really one of the most dominant centers of
Yeah.
his era. A little thing that people don't know is that, and I'm not hating. I'm just giving the facts. This is something people don't know about Dwight Howard. When
Yeah.
LeBron James stunk up the finals that year, uh, it was rumors that the Miami Heat was trying to trade LeBron James for Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
So that tells you how dominant a player was, man. Just a ferocious, powerful dunker.
Yeah. It's crazy. And we got Rivera, River C3 tuning in, and he said Tony Roten better be on this list. He's definitely one that got a couple bodies, but this is all time NBA greats. All time NBA greats. Let me know what you think. Mates look like they are planning a heist. The only heist we planning is to get them likes and subscribes and the comments that keep rolling in, and we appreciate them. And just thinking of when I put Dwight Howard at 10, you can go really anywhere from 10 to 6, 6 to 10 for me. I chose Dwight Howard because, like you said, the big body, he brought something different. If you was under that rim, he definitely gonna slam on you. So me, I put Dwight Howard at 10 respectively, knowing that this list is definitely competitive. What was your thoughts?
On Howard?
On 9. Where would you go with your 10?
Oh, okay. So first, again, people, I really focus on the 2000s to present. My
Yes, sir.
honorable mention that I want to get a people is somebody a lot of people don't talk about, and that's Shannon Brown, former LA Laker, former Bobcat. That dude was amazing. His vertical, how high he got, how explosive he was. Shannon Brown is one of the most slept on dunkers of all time. At 10 on my list, I had a hard time composing this, but I'm going Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose before the injury was as explosive as any guard we've ever seen. The reason why he's so low on my list is because he caught bodies, but I really focused on the players that caught a lot of bodies. He caught
Yes,
some
sir.
bodies, don't get me wrong. Derrick Rose was electrifying, and he was just 101.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man. And when you think of, like you said, our list, it's not gonna be like everybody thinks. How is this person not rated in this list when you say this person's name or that person not there, is because this is rated on a whole different scale. We talking our own likes when it comes to the finesse, the power, so much more. So respectively, man, that's a great pick. You got Rose, you got Howard. And then next we have, for me, at number 9, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go. It was tough. I'm gonna take my boy T Mac. I'm taking my boy T Mac at 9. The reason I'm taking T Mac, when you think of in-game dunks, if you go back and you watch some of T Mac's in-game dunks, it will definitely surprise you. I'm gonna put T Mac at 10, 9. That's all I'm gonna say with that. What's your thoughts on this one post game? Thinking about T Mac, and then we're gonna go to your number 9 as well.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Tracy. If you think about the 2000s, especially the early and mid 2000s, man, that dude was getting up there, man. You talk about a 6'9" shooting guard and a guy throwing balls off the backboard, catching it and yamming it. Tracy McGrady is an excellent pick. At 9, I'm gonna go Ja Morant for me. Just the explosiveness, the athleticism that he had early on in his career. Another guy who would throw the ball off the backboard and yam it coming down court, not caring if you 7'10", he's still gonna try to dunk it on your head. At number 9 for me, Moss, I'm going Ja.
Ooh. I like that pick because, like I said, I think all of these guys can respectably fit and fill any position in this list. I think when we get to this upper echelon in the fives, you'll understand. But this list from 6 on down, all time, honorable mention, I say it could get very heavy. For 8, I'm taking it way back. I'm going to take it so far back post to Chocolate Thunder when the blackboards was getting shooken, getting broke down, getting shattered. And the reason they put them breakaway rims in place. Daryl Dawkins. And bless you, sir. It is okay when you on here with MossBurgh. I'm going Daryl Dawkins at 8. This is one of my guys. I've always loved this game. I even have his 2K dunks on my player build because he's that ferocious with his power and what he does around the rim. What's your thoughts on Daryl Dawkins?
A Chocolate Thunder, man. I mean, just a powerful monster, a guy who doesn't get talked about enough, in my
Yeah.
opinion. So Daryl Dawkins is definitely a great pick. For me, at 8, I'm going LeBron Ramon James from Ohio, from the state of Ohio, same state you from, Moss B.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
I mean, what needs to be said, man? The power dunks, him dunking on people and staring them down as they lay there. You got a
Yeah.
6'9" guy that goes about 260 pounds coming at you like a locomotive. LeBron James comes in at number 8 for me, Mossberg.
Ooh, I like that pick, man. Straight here out of the Ohio State from Akron in the city. Man, it's greatness is all you think about when you think of King James. I have no problem with that pick. I'm gonna get to that pick. I had him a little higher, post. I had him a little higher respectably, but I'm gonna get to that. And I'm gonna go with at 7. I think this one is gonna surprise a lot of people. Rare air when you think about Michael Jordan, the competition that he had at his time. I'm taking it way back. I'm going Clyde, the Glide, Drexler at number 7, post. What's your thoughts on Clyde, the Glide, Drexler?
I mean, just an athletic freak, a guy who could hold his own when it comes to when you talk about dunking in games. A guy who can hold his own against anybody all time.
All
That's what
time.
I think when you talk about Clyde the Glide Drexler. Definitely one of my favorite players coming up as a child. I'm pretty sure I had multiple cards of him back in the day. You remember we used to collect the cards and whatnot, but
Man,
definitely one of the more athletic players in his time.
I agree. What's your thoughts on yours? And we at 7. I know you got something good for us, man.
At 7, I'm going Gerald Green, man. How can you not have him on the top 10 list? I mean, just
Yeah.
a freakish athlete, man. That dude, I used to think he had something in his shoes, how high he used to get. But
Yeah.
one of the more exciting players to watch as far as his athleticism, his ability to dunk. Man, it was just like he was on a different planet when in his prime.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. When you think of what Gerald Green, you think of the windmill alley oops that he would catch, and it's like he's above the rail in a different level, and you watch the replay in slow motion. It's like he's in the air for about 5-6 seconds, man. So shout out to Gerald Green, man. He's dunked on many heads, but his end game is something different, especially above the rim. This is good, man. I like what we got so far, man. Just the you know, man, it's so many things to think about when we get to it, and I'm gonna get to some of the questions as well. And at 6, I think this is one that people sleep on at 6. I'm taking my list. If you think about my list, it's been more old school, like you said, the new school, and I like how we made our list because they really go with each other, and you could really see likes of each player and the other in their era and their time and what they brought. At 6, I went with the man who got a young son that just signed a big deal, and he's going to be suiting up for the Buckeyes. I went with his father, Scotty Beam Me Up Pippen. When you talk about in-game dunks, and shout out to my uncle, man. He really got me hip to this Scottie Pippen in-game dunk. And he went through some highlights, and if you think about Scottie Pippen, one of the dunks posts that people forget about is when he dunked on the mailman. When they played the Utah Jazz in that series, he dunked that ball so hard I literally jumped out my seat. I had it on VHS, rewound it about 100 times after that game. That's how epic. And we know what he did to Ewing, and then the stare down and what he said to Spike Lee himself. In Chicago, I'm going with Pippen at 6, man. I'm going with Scotty at 6. What's your thoughts on this, Post?
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with Scottie Pippen in your top 10. One of the most memorable dunks for me, and you spoke on it already, was definitely the dunk on Patrick Ewing where he yammed on him and pushed him down, and Ewing got up ready to fight, man. That was one of the sickest dunks I ever saw in my life.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Scottie Pippen at your 7 or 6 spot is a great pick.
What's your thoughts on? I mean, this is some great stuff we got going right here. What's your thoughts on 6, Post? Because I can only imagine, man. The list so far has been great, man. What is at your 6 spot?
At my 6 spot, man, I'm going no other than Josh Smith, man.
Oh,
Especially the Atlanta Josh Smith, man. The way he used to come down court and yam on centers. And it's crazy because he left-handed. So
yeah,
it looked even more like spectacular just off the fact that he's a left-hander, but
yeah,
superior athleticism, uh just awesome. Also, I don't know what to say about him. If you know Josh Smith, he definitely gonna catch a body, and it's left-handed, so it look even more crazier.
man. Left, man. The one thing I remember about Josh Smith is really like you have him now at 6. I would watch Josh Smith to see who he's putting in the bag that night. And I'm not talking about with his handles, what he got in the arsenal, but the body bag, slamming on somebody. The one I remember most was Serge Ibaka. When he served him up body to body. I mean, like you said, the left hand, it was like something special. I still remember it to this day. Man, that's something. I like that pick at 6, man, with Josh Smith. Definitely somebody that they forgot about when it comes to basketball and what he did in the game of the NBA, man. Shout out to Josh Smith, man, for sure. Man, this is a good list, man. 5th was none other. You had him at, I believe, 7. I went ahead and moved him up a couple spots, Post. I put him at 5. King James. And the reason that I put him at 5, when we talk about this, the dunks that he's been able to dunk on people, the 7 footers that he's been able to dunk on, he's 6'8", 6'9", but anything taller than LeBron that he's dunked on, he served up a facial. And if Marv Albert could say that special line, I think we would literally be seeing iconic videos of Marv together serving up facials and what we've been able to see today. So I have King James at 5. The career long power slams, that's just not something that's easy to do what he's still doing in year 20. And he's in the top 5 when it comes to career dunks, which is crazy.
Yeah,
What's
he
your
gonna
thoughts
be he gonna be in the top 5 for everything, man, because he gonna play 100 years. But I mean, LeBron James is definitely, I mean, some of the most powerful, ferocious dunks we've seen in our lifetime. That's for sure.
on?
But at 5 for me, I'm going with Amari Stoudemire. He was one of my favorite players to watch, coming up, Moss.
Oh yeah.
The pick and roll to the basket, and then one hand, dunking on people, and not just smaller players, but other centers he would yam on. Amari
Yes.
Stoudemire is one of the most ferocious dunkers in his prime that you will ever see. And I remember quite a few of those centers he caught bodies on. And, for me at 5, I'm going Amari Stoudemire. Stat. They called him Stat.
Yeah.
Standing tall and talented.
Yes, sir. And when you talk about stat, man, like shout out to Amari Stoudemire. I think like we when we talk about some of the series and episodes, me and you really go into a lot of text and talk, prior to what we bring to the shows on Wednesday and Thursday. Shout out to you being able to do that with me as much as we do when we, putting these shows together for these days because it's made me go in and do more research on some of these guys we talked about and even what they doing today. Stoudemire, shout out to you, man. Ola Candy guy, yammed on big time. And I mean, he, like you said, man, he put poster on poster. And when he put the bigs on there, he made them, it was like a RIP for the big, man. He put them in a graveyard, a body bag, and zipped them up. And hopefully they was okay on that flight home because it was not easy once you got dunked on by Amari Stoudemire. And we moving on, man, and this is just epic because we at the upper echelon right now, Post. We politicking, we frolicking around, man. We at number 4, man. Shout out to everyone that's tuned in, man, that's watching, that's just been subscribed, that's been rocking with us from day one and tuned in this evening, man. This is something special when it comes to what we've been able to bring together and put together. And here, for me, at number 4, one of the most slept on. The big 3 got a dose of him, and they thought he was done. Some thought he was washed up. Nah, I knew he still had it. Because when you're a baller, when you're a hooper, you don't never lose it. You just get older and you get a little wisdom. I'm going Jason Richardson, Mr. 360 windmill himself. I'm going Jay Rich at number 4. I mean, when you think of NBA dunks, in game, non-in game, it don't matter, man. You talking about slam dunk back to the whole 9. 2K went into a buzz when the dunk contest after Jason Richardson. The NBA went into a whirlwind because of what he did in the air. I'm going Jay Rich at number 4. Bad boy. What's your thoughts on this one, Post?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, you talk about growing up watching certain players. Jay Richardson definitely was one of them. Somebody you had to watch when he was on TV. Just an explosive player, man. And you know, before I really understood the game, I'm like, it's certain matchups because my favorite player growing up was Kobe Bryant. So
Yeah.
it's certain matchups you watch like, okay, Kobe got Jay Rich this and tonight. So I mean, just a super athletic guy, a guy who could, pull up and hit the J as well, but he definitely had the bunnies. So at four for me, Moss, hear me out, man. You giving a lot of feedback in your mic, man. But
My bad.
four for me, I'm going Diesel, Shaq Diesel. And I know when you got a center like Shaq, he is not gonna be the most creative 360 windmill jumping from the line and all that like the guards would do. But the thing about Shaq was like, yo, the power, like when he hit you with that when he turned that left shoulder into you and then just went up like with so much power and ferociousness. And like he was trying to bring the rim down with him, man, and the look he had on his face after he dunked on somebody. And I'm talking about some of the greatest centers of all time and got dunked on by Shaq Diesel. It used to have me jumping out of my seat when I was a young man or a teenager watching Shaq, especially in them Laker days when they went on that run. Shaquille
Oh yeah,
O'Neal, number 4 for me, MossBurgh.
man. Bro, I just thinking about this list is crazy, man. We got so many names that we haven't mentioned. When you mentioned Shaq, I can't agree. He could be here, he could be higher, but he can't be lower. You talking like the Diesel. Shout out to Shaq, what you've done to the game when it comes to big man in your time, and even still today, you talked about and what the big man should be doing. You was able to do and some, man. He dunked on people for fun. If you think about it, he took down rims. My brother actually was able to go to one of the games and see him when he done that to a rim, and he just sat there. He said, "Bro," he said, "Shaq took the rim down." He said they had to stop the game for a while, man. Like when you are able to do that, and they bring extra rims out because you are in the building, you respectably deserve to be in the top five. Shout out to Shaq Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, man. We see what you do all across the world, man. And it's just greatly appreciated what you was able to bring to this game of basketball and what we see every day from a big man trying to do what you did down low, but they can't beat a Diesel, as we know. So we down to the top three posts, and I'm gonna say this. This is MossBurgh and post game sports, man. This is we do how we do things, and for this top three, you could slide an extra one in at the third position, at the two position, at the one position, respectively. We're gonna take some time and dive into some of the names we possibly didn't even talk about, and if anybody have a name that they want to speak on that we haven't said nothing about, feel free to leave it in the comments, and we appreciate you all as well tuning in. Also, at number three, this was a tie for me, Post. When I say this was a tie for me, man, rest in peace to the Beam, man. If you've seen some of my media, you've seen some of the different posts and edits I've put together, man. Rest in peace to the Bean and his daughter, Gigi. I had to put them on this image. When you talk about dunks, you cannot go in game and not talk about the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant himself. And I put him in the class. Reason why? Because of that double clutch reverse. And when you think about the double clutch reverse, it's only right to think about the windmill from the human highlight reel. So why not put the human highlight reel and Black Mamba at three together respectively, because those dunk changed the game. Dominique Wilkins, Kobe Bean Bryant is MossBurgh's number three all-time in-game dunks. What's your thoughts on this one, Post?
So you got them tied for 3.
This
Uh
it was tough. Yeah, it was tough, and I did it respectably on the double clutch because I watched a lot of videos on the double clutch and that windmill, and they really, when those dunks happen, the way the crowd, I looked at all the different crowd reactions. I had to respectably put them together at three because I couldn't put one lower. I had to respectably put them both together like this, just because.
they say you cheating, Moss, in the comments.
A windmill and a double clutch, game
Listen,
breaking dunks.
Listen, a lot of people don't know this about Kobe Bryant, but he was actually the first one to put his arm in the rim after a dunk. People don't know that about. People think Vince
Yes,
Carter
sir.
was, but it was actually Kobe Bryant. The more you know. But I mean, hey man, if Dominique and Kobe, who can argue? You
It's
know
tough,
those two.
man.
But for
It's,
me, go ahead.
nah, you good. You good. You good.
For me at three, Moss, and people in the chat, keep in mind I'm focused on year 2000 to present when I made my list of dunkers. At three, I'm going no other than Blake Griffin. I mean, I was watching Blake Griffin when he was at Oklahoma with his brother. That dude right there, you know, as high as he got, I remember him hitting his head on the rim or backboard, something crazy like that. It looked painful, but that's how high he used to get. But the most memorable dunk from Blake Griffin, in my opinion, was the way he dunked on Kendrick Perkins and had Kendrick Perkins looking like he was finna start crying. Bro, that right there, that's
Yeah,
memorable. So third, I got Blake Griffin.
man. That's ooh. I love these lists, man. That's I was texting my son last night, and I was asking him, about this, and him, being his age, respectively, he wasn't able to see everything from back then. Blake Griffin made his list. Russell Westbrook, D Rose, those guys were on his list, and he said Lob City, pops. He said he remembered Lob City. He had Blake Griffin. That was one of his guys, man. So, man, it's something to think about that in the era of basketball. Him and DeAndre Jordan, how they changed the game from bigs throwing the ball down with so much power and authority. It don't matter who was under the rim. It was a body, and they was definitely gonna get it. We appreciate you tuning in this evening, brother Blonde. That's brother Jam in here this week, this evening. Dominique Wilkins, Kobe Bryant, and Vince Carter are great in-game dunkers, and Carter's bar, none has the greatest Olympic dunk of all time. Shh, we got you coming. We got you coming. I think we up to we down to two now, post. I think we down to two, man. I don't know, man. If you've been tuned in to this smoke, and we ain't talking about all the smoke, this is just a little dose, and this is from Moss and Post. We had the top two of this all-time in-game dunkers. This was tough, Post. I'm going MJ at number two, man. I'm going MJ respectably at two. I'm going MJ at two. I have many reasons why. I know I got him as my GOAT, but in the dunk wise in game, I'm going MJ two. His rare airness was one to none, we know, but I'm leaving him at two on this list. What's your thoughts on this one, Post? This is I know it's crazy, but I'm going MJ as two, man. I'm going MJ two.
Yeah, not a bad pick at all. I mean, they call him Air for a reason. Black Cat. I mean, it said he had the highest vertical ever measured. So, I mean, when you talk about a guy 6'6", jumping 48 inches and running a 4.3 in a 40-yard dash, it's no wonder they call him your airness. I mean, Michael Jordan, some of the most iconic dunks and poses in the air that
Yes,
you'll
sir.
ever see ever. So I had no problem with his airness being number two. But for me, at number two, I'm going Kobe Bean Bryant. Why am I going Kobe so high at two? I think he's the most slept on in game dunker because I never hear anybody bring him up when they talk about in game dunks. Listen, do you remember the game against the Nuggets? Fast break, throws it behind his back, reverse and yams it. Bro, how serious? Like, I don't think people understand like how skilled you gotta be to do
Yeah,
something like that. Do you
crazy.
remember the dunk as he was aging or getting up there in age on Dwight Howard, a prime young
Ooh,
Dwight Howard?
ooh,
That was the most
ooh.
disrespectful, one of the most disrespectful dunks. I've ever seen in my life. And
I agree.
then a lot of people, y'all gotta go see this one, but the summer league game when he was just inside the free throw line and he yammed on Ben Wallace, bro, stop playing. Kobe Bryant
Man,
is a top 3 in-game dunker in history, and he comes in at number 2 on my list.
is
Never
that the one? Nah, go ahead.
go
My
ahead.
bad. My bad. Go ahead. Nah, my
You said
bad. Go ahead.
is
Finish
what?
up. Finish up. Was the
Yeah,
one you mean? I didn't mean to cut you off. Is that the one where he hit the crossover button? The one where Kobe hit that crossover?
and he
Go
was
ahead. Go
just
ahead.
inside the free throw line. Oh my
Yes, sir.
goodness. That's I can watch that over and over again. But the thing I like about Kobe Bryant, rest his soul, is that he didn't shy away from dunking on like centers, 7-footers.
No.
You see him dunk on Yao Ming, just about every center in his time, Olowokandi, all the centers of his time, man, he pretty much dunked on. So for me, I got Kobe at 2.
Yeah. Oh man, you when it was so like when you think of like the reason why I did what I did is like you said, you think about the list and you can't leave some players off. This is a list that we put together, and man, having been that too is special. I love it. It was tough for me. I didn't want to leave nobody out of the list in a way, but I know I was going to, but I couldn't leave Bean out of that top 5. I had to match him with somebody, and I thought just his iconic dunks. And if you think about that dunk that you mentioned on Ben Wallace, the way he had the ball cradled in his arm, and if you think about that, many people wasn't coming with a crossover and taking one step dunking on you until then. Bing. Once he did it, people seeing it was possible. Next thing you know, you got Bean catching it on the wing, taking that one dribble. That's when he birthed the windmill. So it's so many iconic dunks in game that Kobe's done. And like you said, dunking on the big people, Yao, Olowokandi, Dwight Howard, disrespectful. Like you said, I remember that. I watched that game. That game was on DVR at that time. You could rewind that dunk and catch up to the game. That's how much I watched that dunk. That's a special dunk. I think that dunk needs more recognition. Rest in peace to Ben. You left us with greatness, and they still can't match the Mamba mentality. That leaves us to one post. You in Indiana, right? You've been in air, and I'm over here in Columbus. I'm in the C bus. It'll take me about 24 hours, somewhere around there, to get to where we got to go to for this number one. It'll take about that long. I don't know about you. Might take a little longer, but I know it's going to take about 24 hours for me. On the flight, it's easy. No flights for MossBurgh. But we going to the beach. We going down there to Florida. We going to Vince Carter, number one in game dunker for me all time. I don't know what else to say when we talk about in-game dunks. When you talk of Vince Carter, every dunk and a dunk that you haven't seen, his slam dunk contest. What's your thoughts, Post? We going number one. You just talk about it.
I mean, I also have Vince Carter, Vince Sanity, as the number 1 in-game dunker in history. And brother Blondie, man, Jam said it. The thing that took the cake for me
Yeah,
was at the Olympics when he dunked over the 7-footer. Man, he like jumped over him and dunked it on him.
man.
I've never seen anything like that in my life. Vince Carter was Jordan, was
Yeah,
said to be the next Jordan at a point in time. I don't think he quite lived up to that, but it was a point in time where everybody thought Vince Carter would be the next Michael Jordan. But the hops he had, bro, Vince Sanity,
yeah,
numero uno on my in-game dunkers list.
man. When you say half man, half amazing, When he took off on that when he dunked post, I'm still sitting back. I'm thinking about when I watched the videos of when Vince Carter explained the whole situation and how he didn't even realize what he did until till they talking to him after they go back down court when he dunked on that 7-footer. But then when he had his game at the slam dunk competition, arm in the rim, when he said it's over the windmill, I mean, like you said, I think Vince Carter was one to none. When you watch Vince Carter, you knew you was gonna get a reel. You knew you was gonna get a reel. You're gonna get you a lob. He might catch one off the rim, but he's definitely gonna give you that fast break. He's gonna dunk on somebody, and he's definitely gonna give you something that you haven't seen, man. And that's why we call Vince Sanity, because it's insane at what he do. Like you just can't. I'm still to this day trying to understand like how was somebody able to jump that high and he was still elevating. Imagine if the rim was a little further out, he could have jumped over another player. So I respectively have Vince, and I see, we both agreeing in that, man. Vince at number one all time when you talk NBA, in-game dunkers. Vince Carter, you get these flowers, bro, respectively. When we talking about this, it's only right to dibble and dabble a little bit. Hats off to the New York Knickerbockers and what they've been doing in these NBA playoffs as well. But before we do that, as we talked about some of those most powerful in-game dunks and things of that nature posts, I know you said you had your most favorite. What was your most memorable in-game? Which one to where when you think of an in-game dunk, which one it just instantly it clicks on, you don't forget it, you know the time, it just rewinds you completely.
That's tough. It's so many memorable ones. I but you know what, Moss? I'm gonna say this one because I feel like it was like symbolic.
Yeah.
Do you remember in the All-Star game when Kobe Bryant had the breakaway dunk and LeBron tried to chase him down the block
Ooh.
and he slid
Yeah.
him and gave him the pat on the back?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the most memorable slam dunks and game to me because it's like Kobe was that guy, LeBron was next up. So that definitely, you talk about memorable dunks, that was one for me. And then being able to tease, me being a Kobe fan, being able to tease the LeBron James fans afterwards. So I gotta say that one.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, that's a good one. I feel like you, man. It's like it's a tough, tall task, man. I mentioned him in in our top 10. I like that T Mac All-Star game. I like the T Mac when he threw it off the glass in the All-Star game. I still don't like watching that All-Star game, seeing him do it. And for some reason, like I seen something like that happening. It needed to happen, and it happened with T Mac. He was the person to do it, and to see it actually happen in the All-Star game, I think that still goes beyond, because if you think about it, he not only threw it off the backboard post, but can you remember when he brought it back to his ankle, all in the same motion, and he took off from about the dotted line? So when you think about these in-game dunks, it's a lot that you go into play, that you put into play about an in-game dunk. The velocity, the height, and it looked like he was sitting on a chair. And at that moment, if you flash the picture, he was above a 40 plus vertical leap post, 40 plus vertical inch, throwing it off. So I gotta go T Mac. There was just the one that was my most memorable. Even though we just talked about that Vince Carter, trust me, when you think of most memorable, everybody watching an All Star game. Everybody's not watching the Olympics. Everybody's watching the All Star game, and everybody's watched one of those games as Post just described to you. You know, so when we thinking about this, it's a lot that goes into the thought, man. And shout out to some of the names. Anybody you want to send a shout out to and mention their name. It's a heavy list, man. I'm gonna just say to all the players that we didn't mention. You know, J.R. Smith has some great ones. It's a lot of names that we didn't mention, which I'm okay with because this is only episode 1. We
J.R.
just getting
Ryder.
started. Yeah,
J.R.
yeah.
Ryder. That's another guy who used to have some nice yams. Uh Sean Kemp, the Rain Man. I don't think we talked about him, did we?
Now I had something special. I was about to come to you because tonight's edition of this all time. Sean Kemp is from Elkhart, Indiana. We talking post games backyard. So we was gonna bring Sean Kemp and Rain, the Rain Man, on top of the all time and what we doing tonight and give him his respect as we got post game right in his backyard. And we just gonna tap into a segment and give Kemp his flowers because you getting your flowers a day. So how about that, Post? Talk to us about what you watch firsthand and seeing the Rain Man.
Yeah, one thing that comes up when we talk about Sean Kemp is my man LaShawn Johnson of Elkhart Memorial. He used to tell me, like, you know, when he was a freshman, they moved him up to varsity, and
Yeah,
you know, he playing against guys like Rick Fox, Sean Kemp, and when he got in the game, and you know, they had Sean Kemp there. He like, what I'm supposed to do with this? You know what I mean? Like, y'all want
yeah,
me to guard him? So, I mean, Sean Kemp was just a ferocious dunker, man. That dude had explosive athleticism. And, man, the way he used to dunk back in the day was something. Let me ask you a question.
yes, sir.
Who do you think was the better dunker between Sean Kemp and Blake Griffin?
Sean Kemp. I
You think it
take
was Sean Kemp?
yeah, I the only reason I didn't rank him in this list is because of what we doing now. I wanted to have that segment where we really talked about Kemp because if you think about Sean Kemp's dunks in game, he obliterated people. Like we could put Sean Kemp anywhere on this list from 10 to 1, and people will have nothing to say. They'll be okay, respectively. But he need his own talk because at his height, the way he ran up the floor like a gazelle,
Yeah.
handled the ball, dunked the ball. I mean, he was doing this at a young age, and
The,
people
the
didn't know him. And I
they
take him over Blake all day.
Yeah, they call it the sonic boom, the pick and roll with him and GP.
Yes,
And man, he
sir.
just went flying, man. That dude was awesome. Salute to Sean Kemp, man.
Yes, sir, man. Shout out to Sean Kemp, Elkhart, Indiana, man. One of the greatest in-game dunkers as well. And respectively, like I said, we didn't put you on a ranking on this list because I wanted to come and give flowers to Post in Indiana, part of his hometown, and have this little talk about Sean Kemp, knowing his greatness and what he did when it come to in-game dunks. So if you ask me, definitely top 10. I move somebody off this list in a heartbeat. Enough said when it comes to that. He's just that great. And we all know that. Anything, I know we getting close to an hour, but we ain't worried about an hour. We could do what we do in less than an hour and still cook up. Anything about the Knicks advancing, about this Knicks team that's been doing things that I think a lot of people have not really paid attention to on this. Is it a possible championship run? On this playoff run that they've been on? What's your thoughts on this Knicks team and the Jalen Brunson takeover?
Excellence. I mean, I'm with Mace, Moss. I feel like the Knicks match up better with the Spurs. If the Spurs were to advance, I think I would favor the Knicks in that series.
Yeah,
If OKC advances, which is looking like that's going to happen as of right now, I think OKC would torture New York. But I mean, the playoffs is all about matchups. Styles make fights, right? And I feel like if New York sees the Spurs, they're gonna get a championship. If they
yeah,
see OKC, they gonna get done bad. That's just how I feel, man. But I mean, shout out to Brunson, man. That dude, I think it was Becky Hammond, the coach of the Aces, who said, she don't believe you can win a championship when your best player is your smallest player. That's something that's been said for a long time. That's not the first time I've heard that. When your
yeah,
best player is your smallest player, you're not gonna win no championships. Well, Mr. Brunson has a chance because he's already in the NBA Finals. He has a chance to prove people wrong. So we'll see what happens, man. But I mean, I'm happy for the New York Knicks. I'm happy for their fan base. Their fan base been going crazy all over social media. So they
man.
deserve that. I'm happy to see the Knicks being relevant and making it out the Eastern Conference Finals. Shout out to Brett. Shout out to all those guys, man. OG, Cat, all those guys have been balling.
Yeah, second that, man. Definitely, man. They feeling good today, man. Like I've been seeing that online, man. That's probably the hottest thing moving right now. And as well, man, watching Joe and Jada, man. Shout out to those guys, man. Supporting their hometown, man. I think it's when you have a city supporting you, man, state supporting you. It's a lot of people across the world even supporting the Knicks, man. I've been looking at a lot on media, and this Knicks team has been picking up a lot of steam, and it's just good to see. I know I picked the Cavs to win the series, but hey, things happen, and I'm not afraid to sit here and talk about the Knicks and give them their flowers because they definitely deserve them. They came out and they just went against any and everything everybody was saying. They came out, they played in the heartbeat, and Josh Hart, what he brings to that team, and that Villanova to New York, that trio is something, man. And they won championships then. As Brunson was saying, they got two, Hart got one. It was funny how they was about that, and now they got a chance to get one together. I think it's special, and when you get one together on that next level, I think that goes to show the growth and yourself over the years in your profession that you love as well. So shout out to those guys, like you said, the organization as well. And I think it'll be a great series. New York, San Antonio, even New York, OKC. But I think San Antonio, I think that is, I don't know. I like that series. Of course, I picked San Antonio to win. I would just like to see New York, San Antonio, see how that be. You got some bigs going against each other in a good way. I don't know. I like that look just as well as you. Anything you got to say to the people before we get out of here? Any news coming up? Tomorrow, Thursday. Tomorrow, Thursday, Post. You back in action, Post. You got anything to say to the people?
Yeah, I'm gonna just say we appreciate y'all support. Like, share, subscribe to the channels. Hit that like button. It helps us out tremendously. It helps people find our channels. We're gonna be going live tomorrow night, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna bring you the latest and the greatest of sports news. So make sure you tune in.
Yes, sir. And now I was going for the Knicks. I was going for the Cavs over the Knicks, if that's what you were saying. That's all it was. I was picking the Cavs to beat the Knicks in the series, but of course the Knicks swept them. But yeah, as Poe said, man, make sure y'all tune in. We're gonna be live tomorrow, as we are the rest of the week. Y'all see all the names at the bottom of the screen. Make sure y'all tune in, tap in. We also got that website, WTPSportsDudes.com. Tap into it. Go check it out. There's gonna be some updates coming throughout the next couple of weeks when it comes to bios, different things that we doing with the website as well. Got City League TV on YouTube. You got SEC Sean on the YouTube. And he's been working on that women's softball, that College World Series. Make sure you go tune into that. Some good talks on that as well. And he brings Dougie Fresh from Texas, one of his great buddies on that. We got One Take Zay on YouTube as well as Parlay Poe of Blitzburg. And you see the man on the other side of it. That's post game. make sure you go tap into that channel, man. And we just appreciate all the support and the man that put us all together, man. WTP for life himself, man. It's just a great thing to do. And, you know, being able to bring, like I said, some of the conversations we used to have in the backyard, on the crate courts, on the hanger courts, you know, respectively back in your days in the bedrooms when you had your brothers and stuff playing on the courts. I know I did. So we just appreciate what you able to do when it comes to bringing us to these platforms and doing all these great things. And we appreciate you all for tuning in, because without you, we wouldn't be able to come consistently and bring these flavors and these kickback cookups to your streams and to your shows on a daily basis, man. So we appreciate you all tuning in as well. Other than that, anything else for post game about tomorrow, or was we good?
Yep, good to go.
All right, man. As for us, man, we appreciate, like we said, everybody tuning in this evening. Other than that, man, stay locked in, loaded. Make sure you hit that like button. But after you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell 10 friends. And tell them 10 friends to tell 100 friends that we're going to be here every day of the week. And we're going to be bringing that smoke on the cook up every week. Peace. We out. Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Peace out, Moss.
Low post.